What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I'll get right into it. Today, I wish we were doing some sort of upgrade to the truck. Not quite. We actually have a problem, and apparently it's a common Ford problem. I can't really show you what it is right now because I pulled the fuse, but the windshield wipers, okay? For whatever reason, these things just randomly go off every 15 seconds. It's like they're turned on to the lowest setting while you're driving when they're not even on. So there's something going on, and they call it like a multi-function switch, right? So it's your blinkers, it's your brights, it's your windshield wipers, whatever that thing is having an issue or shorting out or having some sort of malfunction. So I had to get a part to replace that. So like I said, I took out the fuse for the windshield wiper motor so they would stop going off, because they were going off the entire time I was driving. So what we are going to have to do, we're going to put that fuse back in, but we'll do that at the end. But let me show you. So this thing right here is what we are going to be replacing, okay? And there's a lot of steps to do it. It's a very simple process. I'll show you guys that in a second, but that's what we're going to be replacing. So I had my awesome girlfriend go yesterday to Napa Auto Parts. I called Ford and I called Napa. I called a couple parts stores, but Napa had it in stock for the best price with a warranty. But here it is. This is what we are going to be replacing, like I showed you on that unit. So it looks the exact same. It actually feels the exact same. The quality is, I don't know. We'll see when we get it in, but it feels like it'd be no different. So let's go start working on getting that one out so we can put this new one in. So the first thing we're gonna do, I put my keys in because it says it's gonna be easier to have the keys in so you could turn the steering wheel. I might have to turn it all the way onto the ignition part, but what we gotta do, I have 730 seconds here. I couldn't figure out which one it was to use, but there's 3 bolts right here. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna take these 3 bolts out. That is step 1. So I'm gonna do that real quick. It's gonna be hard to film and do it at the same time. So see, here we go. We're gonna take these bolts out real fast. 3 bolts out. Like I said, I used 730 seconds. They're tiny. I kind of placed them to where I know they go back in. It's probably not a big deal. They're probably all the exact same size. But the next step is going to be, there is some clips that are right behind here. So I'm gonna have to do this. So I'm gonna put the keys in the ignition. Let's see. Where is this thing at? Oh, we're gonna have to lock this back into place, okay? We're just gonna turn it on. So see that little clip right here? We're gonna have to try to get a screwdriver in there to let that thing loose right here. And there's one on each side that we're gonna have to do so we can access this. So all I didn't even have to do this on both sides. It popped when I did it on just the one, okay? But look, this whole thing is taken apart. So what we're gonna do next is right here. There is 2 Torx bolts. I need to figure out what they size they are. I think they're a T10, but I'm gonna try to figure out that right now, and we'll get right back to it. And then this thing, again, it's just these 2 bolts. We'll take these 2 bolts out. This thing will come out. We'll pop the new one in, and that should be it. And then what we'll have to do is put that new, or not the new, we'll have to put that fuse back in to make sure it runs. But let me go find that Torx bolt. So I verified real quick, it is a T10. So I'm gonna take these 2 bolts out, and then this whole unit should come out, okay? Which will be, I mean, this is a super easy swap. It sucks that you have to do this, but apparently this is a very common Ford problem. It's not like I'm the only one who's had this. So hence the reason I'm kind of making this video, so you guys can do it yourself. I think a shop, honestly, would probably charge you anywhere from 200 to 300 bucks to do this, and it's costing me $60 to do this myself, and maybe 10 to 15 minutes tops. Okay, guys, so I took both of these bolts out, so theoretically this thing should just pull right out. And look, there it is. It did. Super simple. That thing literally just pulled right out. We gonna go put this new one in right now. Look, they look the exact same. This one's got a little different color to it, but yeah, I mean, they're exact same thing. And you know, this is a Ford Motor Co part. This is from Napa. It should be the exact same thing. So let's go slide this back in there, put those bolts back in, and get everything all tidied back up and make sure it works. So that went in super easy. Let me put those bolts in. So these bolts are back in, and I'm gonna do the smart, responsible thing before putting everything back together, and I'm gonna test it. So what I have to do is I stored this up here. Here's the fuse. We're gonna go put this fuse back in, and we shall see. Hopefully this thing works just like we said, and the quality is, you know, kind of up to standards. But let me put this fuse back in this fuse box real quick, and then I'll test it. Fuse is back in. That took all of 2 seconds, so that gets the windshield wiper motor working again. But let's turn the car on and check this before we put it all back together. Oh god, I had to push this up to start this. Sorry guys, can't see all that well. Okay, just testing the blinkers to make sure they work. Looks like the front one's working. Let me check the rear. Shouldn't have any issues. Yeah, they're good. Okay, so all right, the other blinker's good. Aha! Okay, so windshield wipers are off, right? We'll put it on setting 1. They move. They're off. We'll give it 15 or so seconds here to see if it turns back on. It shouldn't, because that was, you know, part of the issue. And right now it seems to me that we are good. So I am super stoked about that. Let me put this all back together, and we'll just double check again real quick, but everything seems to be great. All right, I'm gonna put these bolts back in, and that will just about wrap us up here. I will join back in a second. Again, those bolts go right here, and I'll be right back. All right, we are all done. We've got them back in there. Bolts are all tightened up. You know, I guess it would, you know, I don't know how Ford's would be. You know, I don't know if the quality is the same, honestly. It feels like it's a little less of a quality. Maybe it's just because it's not broken in like mine was. It feels like it's harder to pull down for the blinkers. But oh, spray function works. We just got wet, so hopefully we don't have any more issues with it. Apparently this is a common problem, and you know, it's in the off position right now. So again, I'm gonna give it just a second here. But look guys, it's a super simple swap. I figured I'd do this video for you guys. I know it's really no big deal and it's not an upgrade, but for some of you guys who need to know how to do this, or were wondering how you could save yourself a couple $100, like, again, $60 for that part at Napa, but it solved our issue. Our windshield wipers are no longer just randomly going off, because I don't know about you, that was bugging the heck out of me. All right, you guys, that wraps up today's video. I know it was more of just a nuisance thing, and I don't want to wear out the motor for those and have to buy new windshield wipers all the time, but there's more to come as far as upgrades go. But that is going to do it for today. Thanks for tuning in to the video. If you guys ever need tips on working on your vehicles or any things you might need to do, upgrades, we're kind of all sorts of things. We're a vlog, we're just about everything. But make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you like what you're seeing. And if you're really, really digging what you're seeing, make sure you hit the little bell notification. And for all of you guys that aren't subscribed, I can see who is not subscribed. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Do me a favor, do yourself a favor, and we'll catch you in the next video. Peace.